Oh, welcome. Here we are. I may sound a little different. I switched back. I'm going to switch back for this flight anyway to the Xbox recording software just because the files have been too enormous with the NVIDIA software that I've been using, and they just take forever to load up onto YouTube for me to watch later, as if that mattered. Anyway, we're doing a short flight today, 250 miles. We are going to do a full flight because mainly, knowing that no one will ever watch this, it's still very useful for me to kind of watch the mistakes that I make and how to learn to fix them or stop making them if nothing else. So, we're here in Nashville, Tennessee, where we landed yesterday, Kilo Bravo November Alpha, and we're just taking a short flight up to Cincinnati today, Cincin International, Kilo Charlie Victor Golf. As I said, 256 nautical miles on our route to our, 258 nautical miles. Anyway, expect this to go pretty quick, so let's get in the cockpit. Let's fire up the bird. Kind of cloudy in here in Nashville today. It was a beautiful day yesterday, but not so much today. Fix that camera angle as per usual. Let's not waste any time. I wish I had my headlamp. Man, you can barely see anything. There we go. All right, let's do the battery. Left and right. Gen, left one, right one now on. Let's fire up the APU. Okay. So while we wait for that APU to spool up, keep an eye on that. 14, 15, so on and so forth. Check our weather. Just confirm our weather in Nashville. Winds are out of the south. I do know that. 64 degrees. It's describing it. Live weather is mostly sunny, but here in the sim, it's a cloudy day. And the forecast was for cloudy weather, rain tomorrow.
TAWS system test. Okay.
And in Cincinnati, weather 64 degrees and described as sunny. Winds out of the south, 9 miles an hour. We're going to be landing on runway ILS, runway 18 right in Cincinnati. I've landed there before. Last time I did it, that was in the TBM. Still waiting for APU's actually up to speed now at 100%, so we'll go ahead and start our activate our recognition lights. Let's turn up the lights here in the cockpit a little bit too. And let's start the right engine. Open that guard. Start it up. Okay, we'll wait for that right engine to spool up. See the number coming up there. While we're waiting, we'll go ahead and set our altitude selector for our cruising altitude of deactivate our parking brake because they're going to start pushback here in a second. Set our cruising altitude at 31,000 feet. Not going too high. We've been flying above 40,000 on some of these longer flights in this bird, but don't need to today because it's a quick one. We'll set our climb out speed at 195. Pushback's about to start, so we'll go ahead and turn on our taxi lights, anti-collisions, tail flood. That's the lighting issues are addressed for now. Okay. Looks like our right engine's just about started. Calibrate our altimeter, set that at 30.00. Make sure that we switch over now to our left engine. We are showing 60.3 and 2% on engine 2, so let's do engine 1 now. Open the guard and fire it up. See if that, whoops. There we go. And 2% coming up now in the left engine. Flight director, both windows. Vertical speed, we'll set that at 3,500 feet per minute. So we'll switch over the FLC once we start our climb out. Switch our nav source over to FMS, bearing 1 GPS. Check the plates here at KCVG, just so we know the ILS frequency for runway 18 left. It's a big airport, big airport. 1-8 left. That's what I said, isn't it? Yeah, 1-8 left. We're landing at 1-8 left. No, excuse me, 1-8 right. Apologize. 1-8 right. ILS frequency for 1-8 right is 110.75. So we'll enter that into nav 11075. Enter that. Minimums are 1,300 feet. Enter that as well. To finish this setup, 1,300. All right, that's entered. PFD settings, wind option 2, done. V-bugs, all on. Set this at 195. Okay. And in all other respects, I think we're looking good. Take a look here just to get yourself your bearings. This is our route. This short flight up to Cincinnati. See the brittle, B-R-I-T-L, at that we want to be at 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet at brittle. And at Kirthy, K-R-T-H-Y, 2,400 feet. Airport elevation is 896. And approach course for runway 18 right is 186. All right, getting all set up here. Just making lots of notes. I could have done this before I started the recording, but what fun would that be? Cincinnati VOR is 117.3. Just looking at all this on the plates. Go ahead and enter that on here as nav 2. Nav 2, 117.3. All right. Okay, so we're pretty much good to go. Did we ever get, well, actually, I'm sorry, one last thing. Got to turn on our pitot heat. Don't want to forget that. It could ruin your whole day. You suddenly lose your instruments because your pitot tubes are blocked up with ice. That's not good. All right, 1 notch of flaps as we prepare for taxi. Got our lights on already. I said, yes, we do. Okay. Did we ever get pushback? No, did we? Doesn't look like it ever happened. Let's go outside for a second just to look. Well, this is going to be an awkward taxi without pushback. Come on, man. See if this triggers it. You can see it's obviously hung up. Nothing's happening. Just another bug. Alright, well, we'll make it work. We're going to have to do a sharp left turn. But I still am not seeing any arrows. Oh god, please don't do this. Go back to clearance. I'm not using ATC, but I can still request pushback stop. There's our arrows. Okay. See if we can still... Is there any way to get pushback? Request pushback? I'd really rather have it, but it's... You can see he's acting up. Maybe this will work. It's just going to be an awfully... you can see what I'm talking about. It's going to be an awfully tight turn. I'd rather not hit the bushes. Looks like he might be working now. Let's find out together, shall we? I'm sorry, I know we're 9 minutes into this, but I got to find out if pushback's going to work. Still buggy. What are you doing, pal? Let's watch this together. What do you think? Try to see the humor in it if you can. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Engines are all started up, but let's see if he jumps all of a sudden over here. Dude, what do you think you're doing, pal? Oy vey. What the hell? Aha! Yes, thank goodness. Alright. Now I can stop complaining. Make sure our spoilers are working. Yes, they are. You see they popped up there on the wings. sure our ailerons look good. Yes, they do. Elevator looks good. Yaw, rudder. All control surfaces working properly. Go ahead and cancel dispatch this time. Good. Alright, now we're in business. Let's get back inside and turn off our APU, fix our camera, which defaulted back to auto for whatever unknown reason. APU's deactivated. Okay, let's go. Set this timer to ready just so we're trying not to forget it. Okay. Jesus. Reset. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go. Yes. Okay, right turn. Okay, you guys ready? Let's do this. Ooh, froze for a second there. Did you notice that? All right. Taxi our way over to takeoff runway. 20 left is where I landed last night, actually. Let's get on that yellow taxi line right there. Here, right here. Follow that. You don't even need to be able to look out the window. Winds are out of the southeast today. And we're taking off. So we'll be taking off with a little bit of a crosswind. Not too bad though. Doing about 12 knots right now. Let's get up into the air. Let's go. Come on. Make our left turn. See some airplanes. There we go. See that guy? Going on asphalt right now. Zoom in here on the MFT. We actually see what we're going to do is just taxi, turn left and taxi all the way to the end. Kind of a sharp left turn here, so we're going to have to employ some toe brakes. A little bumpy. There we go. Okay. Back on the center line of the taxiway. You can see here we are. Just going to go all the way to the end, turn around, take off. Doing about 21 knots now. It's about as fast as I'm comfortable going on a taxiway. Winds are from behind us 12 knots, so when we turn around, do a 180 to begin our takeoff roll, we'll have a nice headwind. This is wrong. We're not going to runway 02 right. We're going to 20 left. I don't know. This is a bug I've seen in the sim now for some time. They just haven't gotten around to fixing it. Doesn't appear to be any harm in it other than just telling you the opposite runway that you're actually heading to. All right. Quarter mile from the runway threshold. It's good. Beautiful plane, isn't it? Okay, just about there. I love how the sock is blowing in the correct direction for the wind. That's sweet. See that? I love it. Okay. Come up here to the bars. Doesn't look like anybody's coming. Give it one last glance to the left before we roll out onto the onto the runway.
Approaching runway 20 left.
There's the bars. Okay. Looks like we're cleared to get onto the runway. We'll still look left here real quick. Oh, there's somebody, but he's not on final. And we'll deactivate our taxi lights, turn on our landing lights, and then we'll turn on our pulse lights as well. Okay. Activate our nav, but we'll also be using our heading actually just to start with. Then we'll switch over to nav once we get going. Reconfirm. Nobody's on final. Nope, we're good. Okay. And we're not going to forget to start our timer either.
Entered runway 20 left. 7,900 feet remaining.
That's the ForeFlight app talking there. Betty, as we call her. There's the beautiful runway right in front of us. We'll line up. Approach course is 201, so we'll set our compass heading to that. There it is. Okay. Heading, sync our heading bug, and we'll go ahead and start the timer. Let's go. Let's get up to Cincinnati. Here we go. Start our takeoff roll. – 12-knot headwind coming right at us. Airspeed's alive. 100 knots. 120. 130. 150. And rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Autopilot enabled. Oops, disengaged there for a second. I don't know what that was about. Activate the auto throttle. That's the inner marker indicator. You're hearing beep. Looking good. Nice smooth takeoff. Flaps retracted. Activate nav. Zoom out on the MFD. Expect a left turn here. Deactivate our landing lights. Watch out for icing. 10 degrees out. Shouldn't see it yet, but temperature will continue dropping as we continue our climb at 190 knots. There's our speed bug right there. You can actually see it right there. Nice, smooth, stable climb out. Start increasing our speed. I'm going to have to zoom in to do this. Activate the FLC. This plane's going to rocket its way up to 31,000. We've got some definite chop in the air. We're going to be above 10,000 momentarily, so we'll up our speed above 250 as we're allowed to do. Yeah, definite chop. And we're fully IMC right now. Reconfirm flaps retracted, gear up. All good. There's that left turn. On a turn this steep or sharp, I wouldn't want to have my bank angle limiter on. We're above 10,000 now. We'll increase our speed. Oh boy, it's so bouncy. Hard to control these. There we go. Okay, nice big sweeping left turn. Icing. See icing? We're going to come out of these clouds though here in a second, but in the meantime, activate our anti-icing equipment. That came on fast. Wow. You should be clearing these clouds here any second. Just about there. There we go. Beautiful. A little more left. We'll be on top of it here in a second. Beautiful. How great was that? That's a good screenshot. Airspeed should be higher than it is. 235. It is increasing now. There we go. Getting on track here. Passing 18,000, we'll standardize our altimeters 29902. There it is. Might as well set up our. Oh boy, is that pretty! Screenshot. Set up our camera here. What do you say? There's that icing. Nice. Nice, really nice. Little aircraft down there, you see? Our MFD set at 15 miles right now. So we can change that. There we go. That's that guy that we just saw out the window. Leave it at 35 for now. Full flight videos are a little more of a challenge, at least in terms of recording them, because, well, let's be honest, once you get up to your cruising altitude, there's not much to do other than keep an eye on things. Could try being a tour guide on occasion, but we're flying above the deck here, and there's not a whole heck of a lot to see. Our passengers don't have the greatest view in the world. I mean, it's nice cloud cover, but there's nothing to look out down below us as this is all socked in. All right, passing through 270 for 310. A slight left turn here in a moment as we begin our flight north to Cincinnati. Yeah, for you smart tech people out there, which I'm not one of them. I don't really get the NVIDIA recording software is definitely better audio quality. I don't doubt that, but the files are like an order of magnitude larger than the Xbox videos. There's that left turn. Gosh, that's pretty. So, you know, if you have just an 18-minute video and a 20-minute video or a 30-minute video, whatever, and it takes 3 hours to upload, I don't know. I can't imagine. And I expect this will probably be maybe an hour episode. That would take, imagine how long that would take. 6 hours to upload? Give me a break. Problem was I noticed some sound quality problems in the Xbox software. But hell, if it means I don't have to sit around waiting for 6 hours for it to upload so that I can watch it later and learn where I messed up, it's worth it. Switch over to Mach now that we're cruising altitude. Set that at 0.80. And what the hell? 0.82. It's a fast bird. Her maximum airspeed, oh well, maximum Mach speed is 0.83. Just going into the barber tape there, you can see. They call it that because it looks like a barber pole. I was going to fly today from Nashville up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, but I have something I have to do in about 45 minutes, and I couldn't leave. I couldn't finish the flight in time, so I figured I'd get a little flight in, just halfway to Harrisburg, up to Cincinnati. We'll go from Cincinnati to Harrisburg maybe tomorrow. Another thing was that I mentioned this in my videos before that no one sees, that I always fly in real time wherever we happen to be. So if it's whatever, right now it's 4:11 here in Tennessee, 16:11 that is. Then that's the time I fly. But because I'm in Pacific Standard Time here in Southern California, when I fly on the East Coast, if I don't start in the morning, I'm almost destined to have a night flight. Especially here in the fall, or almost winter, just because the days are so short. So this way, we'll get a late afternoon flight here. Got a hell of a tailwind. 73 knots. This is great. Probably be on the ground in about 27 minutes. At 2:39 PST, 4:39 Nashville time or Cincinnati time. Virtually certain that Cincinnati is Central Time Zone. Well, we confirm that though. Local time in Cincinnati is 5:13 p.m. Well, what do you know? I stand corrected. Cincinnati is Eastern Standard Time. Well, we'll still be on the ground by about 5:40. What did I say? I guess about 26 minutes. So what's that? 23:33. About 5:40 p.m. So it'll be dark, I would expect. Like I said, weather in Cincinnati, sunny skies, it says. Temperature 63 degrees. That seems kind of balmy for December. It's been nice. Winds are out of the south at 6 miles an hour. Showing us 186 miles left on our route. And dropping fast. 20 minutes at our current airspeed. Will obviously be a little slower than that as we begin our descent, slowing down. But it's a beautiful late evening, or early evening I should say, here in the reaches of Tennessee. You're flying over Kentucky right now, I'm guessing. In fact, just now that body of water there you see right there is the Dale Hollow Lake. Dale Hollow Lake. And then we're headed up here to Lake Cumberland. Beautiful part of the country. I've always wanted to visit Kentucky because of the activate our bank angle limiter. Sorry, taking that turn a little steeper than I think is safe. Yeah, I'd love to go to Kentucky just to explore the distilleries. I'm a big bourbon fan. .174 nautical miles, 19 minutes of current airspeed. Ground speed right now 544 knots. 543 in sim. That's hauling ass. Flying along here at flight level 310. Pretty amazing. I think this airplane could be flying at 45,000 feet. That's something else. Still got a great tailwind, 72 knots. It's going to help us get to our destination expeditiously. We'll see just how sunny it is in sim in Cincinnati. Doesn't look too sunny down there to me, if you ask me. But I just love these late afternoon, early evening cloud effects. The way the light plays upon it is really something special. Isn't that funny? How the eye point changes? Me, or is there something just vaguely disturbing about how that looks when it's showing the guts of the plane? Still got some ice, but nothing problematic. All right. Always fiddling around with this thing, I swear. I wish we could lock it in place. I don't know how to, though. All right. Destination date is 134375. Passing over, just passed over Lake Cumberland. Let's bring this in a little bit. All right. So at 31,000 feet, we'd expect to initiate our descent at 103 miles out. That's assuming that the airport is at sea level, which it's not. The airport elevation for Cincinnati is 896 feet. So. But we'll initiate our descent here soon enough. 149 nautical miles from the airport. Try to keep our speed up for as long as possible just to get us on the ground expeditiously. Showing us just 17 minutes 20 seconds since we started our takeoff roll. Probably took a little more time than necessary doing that setup, but again, I mainly make these videos for myself just to go and watch them later and kind of really watch mistakes I made, assumptions I made erroneously. Unfortunately, it would probably save time if I just didn't start recording until I was all lined up for takeoff, but then I'd be missing some of the most important stuff in the sim, which is starting from a cold, dark cockpit and trying to tag all those bases before you start your takeoff. And we occasionally have to deal with goofy bugs like that pushback problem we had. Which adds time. go ahead and switch our bearing 2 over to nav 2 to see if we have any. No, we have no data yet from the VOR-DME at Cincinnati, which I wouldn't expect necessarily it being 135 miles, but it'll come in soon. Making a beautiful, nice left turn. Clouds aren't quite as thick as they were. That sunset. Let's go outside and look at that. Look at how the light plays on them. Look at that. It's just, I don't know, it takes my breath away. The way they've perfected lighting. Really cool. As I was saying, look at the fuel, the heat coming out of the engines. Look at that. Light coming through the windows. Jesus. Look at these guys. There's no easy way to know whether the other airplanes you see are commercial airliners that are actually imported into the sim in real time or other simmers. But when I see two guys kind of in formation like this, I wonder if it's a couple of guys doing a flight somewhere, anywhere. I don't know. All right, we got to start our descent in about 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. We're 119 nautical miles. I'm a little curious about the time because, in theory, at 5:21 it should already be dark here, but then again, Cincinnati's certainly on the westernmost portion of the eastern U.S. time zone, so that might partially explain that. I did start in real time though. Local time here in LA is 2:21, so that would mean it's 5:21 in Cincinnati. I really thought Cincinnati was the central time zone, but it's eastern according to Apple weather. All right. 112 nautical miles out. Just 13 minutes if we maintain this airspeed, which we won't. But I am going to try to keep my airspeed up. I'd like to get on the ground. Well, there's still a little light anyway, just because I've doing several night flights lately. And last time I flew in any light at all was from Fargo down to Tulsa. That was only for the first few minutes after we took off. Okay, time to initiate our descent. So, set our altitude selector. I just set it down to minimums. I figure that's where we're going anyway. As I mentioned, our minimums are right here, 1,300 feet. We'll set it at 1,300 feet. That way I don't find myself in a situation where it reaches whatever altitude I pre-selected and then stops descending. In our descent. We start off with a steeper descent profile than I may need because it's easier to descend a little more steeply than you think you should and then shallow it out than to descend more shallowly than you should and then have to play catch up with a higher speed descent. I prefer not to do that. So we're going to head down into these clouds. Almost certainly going to be icy conditions, but we still have our icing or anti-icing equipment on, so that won't be a problem. See how accurate the weather is, but we're closing in on Cincinnati here. Just passing Lexington, Kentucky, right off here to the right. Make it out. That's Lexington Airport right there. It's like somebody's getting ready to take off or something. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, Lexington Airport. I have no idea. Never been there. But I would honestly confess that I think Kentucky is one state more than others that I would really like to visit one day and just go on a distillery tour. 90 miles out from the airport now. In theory, you'd want to be at 30,000 feet at 90 miles out, so we can shallow out our descent rate because we're well below that at 27.6. But like I said, see, that's an easy problem to fix. You know, if you're too high and you need to get lower, well, that means you're going fast. That means you're descending more quickly than maybe you would otherwise want to. It can affect your ability to maintain a constant airspeed. So by starting off with a steeper descent and then being able to shallow it out, it's a little more manageable in my experience. .80 84 miles out now. 60 miles, keep in mind. I'm sorry, 80 miles, you want to be at 24,000 feet. 70 miles, 21,000 feet. Keeping in mind, of course, the fact that Cincinnati is at 900 feet above sea level. I don't know how hopeful I am about us having any light, though, especially once we get under this deck. Again, runway 18 right as our approach. Depending on how our approach goes, I might cut this short. In other words, instead of doing all this, I might just go straight to Drake and then do the right turn. Save a little time. I've often done that on a approach at John Wayne Airport, my home airport, KSNA, Kilo Sierra November Alpha. They have a similar approach like this, with this big teardrop approach. Don't need necessarily to do all this. Get here and head here. All right, just about to descend into these clouds. Winds are still pretty significant. 70 knot, 69 knot left quartering tailwind. See right there. Keeping our speed up. 70 miles out. 70, we want to be at 21,000, so we'll go ahead and increase our descent rate again, and we'll start slowing. Set 310. Down we go into the murk. I really am just, I don't even have the words for how impressed I am with the cloud effects. They're really, what do you say? What do you say to this? Wild. Slow us down to 300. 60 miles out, we want to be at, what did I say, 18,000 feet. We're 62 miles out. Increase our descent rate even more here. Take us down to 290. Wow. You really get a sense of scale as to just how giant clouds are. This is a view that only this game could provide in this kind of astonishing detail. Here we go. We are IMC. Boy, did it get dark all of a sudden or what? Jesus. 57 miles out. Slow us down to 280. Set our descent vertical speed at 2,700 feet. We need to accelerate our descent a little bit. We need to be a little lower than we are. Wow, it got dark. Again, though, this is a good example about, you know, if I need to continue bleeding off airspeed, I can just stay on this arc right here just to buy real estate. We are higher than we should be, but nothing where we need to start panicking. Not far from it. Calibrate our altimeter. Apparently local nearest altimeter is 29906. Let's find out. 29983. Okay, not in agreement, but tolerably close. We are getting nav data from nav2 from the VOR DME from the airport, 19.8 nautical miles. Which is not to say that we're 19 miles from our landing, we're just 19 miles from the airport, but we have to pass the airport. Air altitude's looking better now, 48 nautical miles from the airport, 16,400 feet, so looking better. "40 miles out, we'd want to be at 12,000, so we're going to keep our descent going. Take us down to 275. Wow. I can't believe how fast it got dark. It's like night and day. No joke. No pun intended. It went from day to night in just the act of descending into those clouds. Altitude looks good. 44 miles left on our route. 14,300 feet. Looks like we got some aircraft in front of us. There's this guy. Keep an eye on, that's him right there. Let's see if we got any traffic alerts. Nope. Looks good. Okay, 41 miles and 12,700 feet. That's what I want to see. Let's shallow out our descent rate now. And we're going to slow us down even more. Get ready for the landing gear alert. Want to be below 2, or at or below 250 on our knots indicated airspeed right here, below 10,000 feet. Nice, steady deceleration. "30 miles out, we'll be at 9,000 feet or thereabouts. Bouncy. A lot of chop. A lot of chop. Still a lot of wind, too, for being at 11,000 feet. We got 50 knot tailwind. Well, I was hoping for a daytime landing today, but I don't think we're going to get it. "35 miles. Still going to keep our speed up. As we pass below 10,000, though, we'll set it at 240. Wait for that landing gear alarm. Okay. Nice. It's not bugging us too much today. 33 miles, 9,500 feet. Shallow descent rate at 1,800 feet per minute. Here's the airport. Can't see it, but it's right out there somewhere. Lots of planes. Lots of planes in the area. It's a busy airport, man. Huge cargo component, too, I'm told. I think we've got about 10 minutes to be on the ground. Slow us down, or shallow out our descent rate. We're at 8,100 feet and 30 miles. There's another airplane. There's a lot of planes flying around here, dude. Jesus. All right. 235. Still looking good though. Let's go ahead and switch over bearing 1 to nav 1. See if we get any ILS information. Yes, we do have it. Looks good. Showing 9.2 nautical miles from the ILS threshold. You see this number's going up, 9.4, 9.5. Well, that's because we're flying away from the airport. There's a guy on final right there, Carthy. I hope these guys aren't planning to go on final, but given their altitude, I'm going to take a wild guess that they are. Take us down to 225.
Landing gear.
There it is. 220. Altitude looks good. 6,500 feet, 25 nautical miles. Set 210. I'm hearing some, sounds like a little tip, 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 tip on the windshield. We might be in some rain. Let's check. Oh, hell yes. Wow. Look at that. Who knew? Had no idea we were expecting rain showers. There was no indication of that in the weather forecast. Not as though weather forecasts are always right. Slow it down to 200.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Airspeed. It's fine. Shallow out this descent rate. We'll make it more conservative now. Okay, my own initiative now. We're going to start our right turn. Start heading towards Drake. Start this right turn just a little bit earlier. See? Deactivate bank angle limitations. Sorry, that's my dog. This is the last time, this is the worst time to start barking, kid. Oh, there's so many planes in the area. Good Lord. I don't know, man. I sense a traffic conflict coming. Set this at 180. Do 1 notch of flaps. So much to manage. Alright, so there's a lot of planes around here, man. I'm sweating bullets. Okay, so let's zoom in here just a little, get a little closer. Okay, so we're gonna switch over to a nav source, nav 1. Good, that's good. See here our airspeed, our altitude looks good. The green diamond's just what you want. A little bit high. We'll fly in under the glide slope as we intercept the localizer and the glide slope itself. Keep our slowdown going. Press the APPR button here as it begins to intercept. This is a way more challenging approach than I was expecting, to be honest. So I'm heading lock right now. So given that, still responding to heading inputs. No. Let's get ready to intercept this localizer. Looks like we are going to have other planes as part of this. We may be inadvertently mated. Thing is, there's 3 runways at Cincinnati. So you can oftentimes have the illusion that there's a lot of planes on final on your runway. In reality, they're not. This is going to start to move. As this continues to drop, the white GS should turn to green. At least that's the plan. Do another notch of flaps
Landing gear.
and put our gear
Landing
down.
gear.
Should be turning now. It's not. Looks like we got some problems here, but it's nothing we're going to panic about. There we go. Yeah, somehow it missed that turn. I don't know why. So we're going to correct now. You see we've overshot. See? He's going to have to turn. Luckily we got 14-mile final, so it's not going to be, shouldn't be a big problem. Let's bring our airspeed down just a little though. Buy a little extra time. At least we're below the clouds now, thank God. Jiminy Christmas. Man, I did not expect, I was kind of expecting a nice little relaxing flight up to Cincinnati, I gotta be honest. Should grab the glide slope. Should, he said, hopefully. Come on. Come on. Look at the winds coming at us. 35 knots. Man, I'm scratching my head on the imported weather today. We do not want to inadvertently fail to continue descending. So it's still receiving input from the vertical speed control here. I want it to intercept the glide slope intensely. Final notch of flaps. It looks good though. Gear down, full flaps, landing lights on. There's the runway. 18 left, 18C, 18 right. I do not know why we're not grabbing the glide slope though. Slow us down, set it 150. 36 knots. I mean, what in the hell is going on with the weather in Cincinnati? Is this like, did they just blow in or what? Not lined up. Let's try APPR now. I've encountered this problem before where it somehow or another the APPR button isn't responsive. Nav1, FMS source. Yeah, we're not lined up. Okay, we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, unfortunately. Autopilot's disengaged. We'll leave auto throttle on, however. Just so we don't inadvertently lose airspeed. I can't account for our heartburn there. Fortunately, we still have CDI information, which I can rely on. Even if I couldn't see anything. I also have glide slope information from that same PFD to tell me if I'm too high, too low, even if I couldn't see anything. Auto throttle's working to keep our speed up with this crazy wind we're headed into. And given that kind of wind, I'm going to actually keep our airspeed a little higher. This guy in front of us is just bouncing left and right. I don't know what he's doing. Okay. Disengage the auto throttle now. Follow that glide slope information on the PFD. We're a little too high. Trim it. CDI showing us perfectly lined up. a little high. Crazy winds, man. That's what I get for assuming a nice little short hour flight up to Cincinnati from Nashville. Ends up being a pretty challenging one. Still a little high. Seeing whites on the poppies and this glide slope indicator showing that we need to descend. Winds are very, very strong, but at least they're coming straight at us. We don't have a crosswind. Popped up in the seat, giving the illusion that we're kind of angled down more than we actually are, if you see what I mean.
2-mile final runway 18 right.
Airspeed's good. Now our altitude looks good. I'm seeing red and white on the poppies. Winds are dramatically reduced all of a sudden. Not gone though at 11 knots. Bouncing around. Man, challenging one. All right, I'll take it. I think we'll exit left, that'd be my expectation. All right, well that actually ended up being okay. Oh man, stop at the bars here. Lots of runways around this place. Okay, you gonna get any arrows or anything? ATC? Tune ground, taxi to parking. There we go. All right, let's clean up the airplane real fast. Flaps retracted, spoilers retracted, and taxi lights on. Post light off, landing lights off. Okay, man, that was exciting, and it is raining. Make this turn. There we go. Huh. That was high drama. Okay. Zoom in here on the MFD, see where the heck we're going. Okay. Well, hour-long episode today, more than I expected, but still. Proof positive. This is always a challenge. Don't make assumptions about how you think the flight's going to go, because often it doesn't. I'm telling you, when we descended into those clouds and it got pitch black all of a sudden, I am a little mystified though as to how the weather is so different in sim. This is not what I've experienced. I mean, generally this in-sim weather's been pretty darn good, pretty accurate, but this was not today. Unless, I don't know, maybe the information I'm getting is incorrect. You know, and that it is rainy or whatever. Going over to ramp 51. Actually see right here where we're headed, see? It's us. Gathering we'll have to cross runway 18C. So, airport this busy, we'll keep our eyes peeled, make sure nobody's headed at us. Depressurize while I'm thinking about it. I don't know what that weird blinking is. Oh, it's just these goofy. I don't know why they're being depicted above the airplane. That should not. What the hell? What is going on? Do they have us like four-wheeling here? Last thing I want is for it to like crash the desktop because it says that I collided with something when I clearly didn't. Man, only doing 22 knots. All right, let's make this right turn. Such a big airport. And you get to sit with me for this long-ass taxi to parking. While I'm thinking about it, let's stop our timer. $50 minutes, huh? At least we're not bouncing around anymore. That was weird. Kind of nice if I could see just how... I guess we're going a little too fast, sorry. How the weather was. I mean, I can kind of see that it's raining on the screen, but not too much. All right. Man, we could have driven to Cincinnati faster. Oh, we'll get there eventually. 1 minute, 4 seconds. No, I'm kidding. That's a 4-flight estimate. All right. Good Lord. I'm gonna get out and pull. So anyway, from here to Harrisburg tomorrow, and then the question is, do I tackle Europe? I'm thinking about it. In the longitude, range-wise, I think it could go from New York to London, realistically, on its fuel range. But maybe it'd be fun to kind of do it in segments. Like maybe we stop in Reykjavik. Harrisburg to Reykjavik. Is it possible that that route has ever been done in the history of aviation? I'm guessing no. There's runway 18C.
Enter runway 18 center.
Nobody coming.
36 center.
Okay. Let's park this baby already. God almighty. There's a nice big sharp turn. That crazy dog. I don't know if you can hear him. It's like doing bumper cars in here, man. Let's turn left. Please, God. This is the longest taxi in the history of goddamn Western civilization. Good Lord. The taxiing is more challenging than the landing. My feet are exhausted. You gotta love the idea of your feet cramping because you're using the rudder pedals so much. Jesus. Please, God, let me be going to parking now. We're just about there. As Casey Kasem said, man, this is ponderous, man. Fucking ponderous. Yeah, it's raining pretty good. I think this might be, oh, there's a big bird. Might be the first time I've taken the Longitude in rain. Oh, for the love of God. Could you have found me a place to park farther from where I landed? Oh my God. Note to self, never land on runway 18 right in Cincinnati. Because just by default, you have to travel the whole airport. This is hilarious. Oh my God. Anyone that's still watching this is amazing. Good God, even I'm bored. Why are they taking us farther from parking? They're going to turn us around now? Oh God, this... I mean, it's AI doing its best, but it's not doing a particularly good job. Please. I'm begging you. Please, just let me park. I can't stop the game if I haven't parked. It's not realistic. See, there's a bunch of planes right here. See that? Look at that. Little convention. Alright. Plane's on final. At least we're getting closer now. 0.46, 0.45. Okay. Thank God. That's kind of a cool effect. Oh, that's sweet. I actually like that. Wow. This was maybe my longest taxi ever. I may have gone faster than I should have on this taxi, but can you imagine if I didn't? Okay, there it is. Thank God. Good Lord. That's what I get for landing at a big airport. Serves me right. Okay, finally. God, I need to leave. Okay. Look for our flashlight, buddy. Let's pop up. Where is he? Where is he? Come on. Where is he? I don't see him. I'll just use the lines myself, following this right here. I mean, after all that, I don't even have anybody to guide me in. As Jeff Spicoli would say, you dick! Alright, there we go. That's pretty good. That's a pretty solid lineup. Okay. Parking brake. Good Lord. Check outside. And we parked well. Yeah, see? I mean, that's nailed the parking job. Even the wings are positioned correctly. Wheel looks good. Right on the line. Yeah, I don't know where our flashlight guy was. He probably got bored waiting for us. Alright, let's kill the engines. Okay. And lights. Alright, that's that. We're all done. Turn on our... Oh, he left that anti-icing stuff on. Probably wisely. Okay. And we already took care of our timer. Okay. Kill the battery. Okay. Welcome to Cincinnati. Local time. What, 6 o'clock? 6 p.m. 5:59. All right, that's it. Sorry for the long ass taxi all the way to the parking. That was terrible. Have a good one.